Are you spooked by Friday the 13th, black cats crossing your path, or having to walk under a ladder? Do you often knock on wood after mentioning your good fortune, or throw salt over your left shoulder after spilling it to ward off bad luck? If so, you're among the legions of people who are superstitious. A 2014 Harris Interactive Statista survey of 2,236 adults across the US found that 33% of people believe finding and picking up a penny is good luck, and 21% believe knocking on wood prevents bad luck. A previous Gallup News poll found that 25% of people in the US say they are very or somewhat superstitious in general. A superstitious behaviour can include repeated actions or a hypnotic rhythm that you engage in to produce a specific outcome. We learn superstitious behaviours through a simple reinforcement process. The basic principle behind reinforcement is that when a certain action appears to lead to the desired consequence, we repeat it. Most behaviour we learn through reinforcement involves a reasonably straightforward process linking cause and effect. A superstition is any belief or practice based on one's trust in luck or other irrational, unscientific or supernatural forces. Often it arises from ignorance, a misunderstanding of science or causality, a belief in fate or magic, or fear of the unknown. It's commonly applied to beliefs and practices surrounding luck, prophecy, and certain spiritual beings, particularly the belief that future events can be foretold by specific, apparently unrelated prior events. So basically, there's nothing wrong to have a superstition in life, as long as you're not interrupting or disturbing the peace of the people around you, and as long as you have a positive outcome from it, whatever it may be, right? Nikola Tesla did countless mysterious experiments and practices, but he was a whole other mystery of his own. Almost all genius minds have a certain obsession. Nikola Tesla had a pretty big one. Did you know that Nikola Tesla had some interesting habits? For example, he would walk around the block repeatedly 3 times before entering a building. He would also clean his plate with 18 napkins. He lived in hotel rooms and gave tips only with the number divisible by 3. He would make calculations about things in his immediate environment. He would do everything in sets of 3. Maybe you won't understand why he has an obsession with the number 3 until you watch the Vortex Math Part 7. The number 3 signifies the triangle. The triangle signifies the start of creation, the degree of 2 extremes, the polarity and the balance. In Vortex Math Part 7, I stated that geometry is a tool for finding the perfect balance. In Freemasonry, they use geometry to put powerful symbolism into their structures. Further investigation reveals that another Freemason symbol can be traced directly onto the streets of Washington, D.C., a pentagram, and its southernmost tip points directly to the White House. So, why did they use the symbol of the pentagram? Well, the pentagram is perhaps the oldest graphic on the planet, discovered in ancient Babylon for centuries. For millennia, it was tied to light, to creation. It has these connections of divine geometry. Actually, if you look further and connect all the tip points of the pentagram in Washington, D.C., it reveals a powerful pattern or completion of unseen universal force, the Metatron Cube. Metatron is mentioned in the pseudepigrapha and most prominently in the Hebrew Merkabah Book of Enoch. Metatron's cube is a two-dimensional geometric figure created from 13 equal circles. 6 circles are placed in a hexagonal pattern around a central circle, with 6 more extending out along the same radial lines. Metatron's cube is considered one of the most sacred of the ancient geometrical symbols and one that encodes the 5 Platonic solids. The Platonic solids are the 5 polygons that can be constructed within a sphere and are named after the Greek philosopher Plato. Metatron's cube is directly related to the Holy 108 of Phi. It always starts with the dot. Connecting the 2 dots, it becomes a triangle. The underlying pattern is spiral or spiritual in nature, the Fibonacci sequence or the vortex. As it unfolds, it wishes to inform us about the cyclical nature of the cosmos. Planets, stars, galaxies, seasons, and even life and death itself are cyclical. In Nikola Tesla's quote, he says, "Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality." So it means what they're doing in Washington, D.C. is not just a superstition. What they're actually doing is aligning themselves to the universe, the structures they built with a connection to the stars, galaxies, cosmos, Earth, and creation. Maybe this is one of the reasons why even Apple Park is triangular in shape. Apple headquarters is the corporate headquarters of Apple Inc., located at 1 Apple Parkway in Cupertino, California, United States. Logos and symbolisms are everywhere. Some are incredibly straightforward, a letter form or pictorial representation, and some are more intricate. Many of us don't even consider what these logos mean beyond the point that they represent some of our favourite brands. But what we don't realise is that many of them have a deeply rooted meaning hidden in or behind the famous symbol. And let's uncover them. So, I figured out there's a similarity in logos and brand names. In Vortex-based mathematics, numbers 9, 6, and 3 are the most powerful energy because it's the answer or source of all motion in all vibration. I noticed that a lot of top companies use these numbers hidden in their logos. Let's find out what companies are using these powerful numbers. There is no number 0 with the arrangement that we're going to use to find these hidden numbers because in Vortex math, 0 doesn't exist. Number 1. Del. Letter D is 4. E is 5. L is 3. And another L is also 3. So if we add those numbers together, we get 15. 1 plus 5 equals 6. So Del is equal to 6. Number 2. Fox. F is 6. O is also 6, and X is 6. Again, so if we add those numbers together, we got 18, 1 and 8, which also equals 9. They said that the 666 is Satanism. Well, it's up to you to consider. Anyway, Fox means 9. Let's proceed to the next brand. Number 3. IBM. I is 9. B is 2, and M is 4. 9 plus 2 equals 11, plus 4 equals 15, which reduces it back to 6. So IBM means 6. Number 4. ABC, or ABC News, is the news division of the American Broadcasting Company. A is 1, B is 2, and C is 3. 1 plus 2 equals to 3, plus 3 equals to 6. Therefore, ABC is equal to 6. Number 5. CNN, one of the top broadcasting television channels in America. C is 3, N is 5, and another N is also 5. So if we get those numbers together, we have 13. Six. Amazon. The Amazon symbol is an extremely simple logo, and while the arrow may just look like a smile, it actually points from A to Z. This represents that Amazon sells everything and smile on the customer's face when they've bought a product. But if we add these letters, A is 1 and Z is 8. Again, we've got the powerful 9. Number 7. Google Chrome. This logo is actually pretty obvious. You can see the 999 or 6 forming like the golden ratio. Number 8. Apple. It's the number 1 American global technology company selling consumer electronics, computer software, and online services. They are commonly known for iMac, iPhone, iPad, iPod, and iTunes. As you can see, they always use the letter I. Therefore, Apple means 9. Number 9. The www at the start of the internet, or we may call it the World Wide Web. W is 5, so 5 plus 5 equals 10, plus another 5 equals 15, which is reduced back to 6. Number 10. Walt Disney. W is 5, A is 1, L is 3, T is 2, D is 4, A is 9, S is 1, N is 5, E is 5, and Y is 7. If we add all of these numbers together, we get 42, which reduces back to 6. Number 11. Intel. I is 9, N is 5, T is 2, E is 5, and L is 3. If we add all of these numbers, we get 24, which reduces back to 6. Number 12. HP Hewlett-Packard. H is 8 and P is 7. 8 plus 7 equals 15, so 1 plus 5 is 6. Number 13. Starbucks. S is 1, T is 2, A is 1, R is 9, B is 2, U is 3, C is also 3, K is 2, and S is 1. If we total all of those numbers, we get 24, and that means that 2 plus 4 is 6. Number 14. Coca-Cola. C is 3, O is 6, C is 3, and A is 1. L is 3, O is 6, L is 3, and A is 1. The tricky part here is that there is a pattern involved. Look at those 3, 6, 3, 1, and another 3, 6, 3, and 1. If we add those separately, we got doubled powerful numbers, 13. And number 13 is also a very dominant and powerful number in secret societies. I'll explain this later as we progress. Number 15. CIA. The CIA is an intelligence agency devoted mainly to the acquisition and analysis of information, and then the making of predictions and estimates based on that information. In terms of power and technology they have, according to Edward Snowden, the CIA is more powerful than the FBI and other agencies. And in terms of budget, the CIA would probably win. So C is 3, I is 9, and the last letter equals to 1. So 3 plus 9 equals 12, plus 1 equals to 13. All is number, Pythagoras once said. Numbers guide everything, from simple everyday tasks and utilitarian applications to launching spacecraft into orbit and maintaining the global ebb and flow of economies. They allow us to map out our physical world and quantify it. At least, that's how most people view it. But for those initiated into the mystical and those in control, numbers are much more than that. While the applied use of number and number theory allows these people to accumulate wealth and power through commerce, there are other theatres of conflict where numbers are being used which most people are unaware of. In fact, the utilisation of this sorcery or science is the very reason you are most likely unaware of it. In secret societies, numbers 9 or 6 and 13 are very significant, as you can see in this picture. In the principle of polarity, 9 and 6 are in the same state, but different in degree. On the US dollar bill, you will find 13 stars above the eagle, 13 steps on the pyramid, 13 letters in Annuit Coeptis, 13 letters in E pluribus unum, 13 vertical bars on the shield, 13 horizontal stripes on the top of the shield, 13 leaves on the olive branch, 13 berries on the olive branch, and 13 arrows. As you can see, we have a total of 9 number 13s. So 9 multiplied by 13 is 117 and equals 1 plus 1 plus 7. 9. We already know the significant value of number 9, so why have they also used number 13? Well, because 13 symbolises the Metatron's Cube. Metatron's Cube starts with the fruit of life shape and connects all 13 symbols with straight lines. Metatron's Cube includes all 5 platonic solids hidden inside, symbolising the underlying geometric patterns found throughout our universe. Metatron's Cube is balanced and provides a visual focal point. A mystical 3-dimensional cube represents the flow of energy connecting Earth and the divine. The Metatron Cube is in Washington, D.C. You can see where they placed the White House to the centre of the 12 circles. If we were going to relate this to ourselves as beings, this is the formation that happens to our unseen energy when we're in perfect balance. So, are these the only examples of the top companies, agencies or associations with the number 9, 6 and 13 hidden within their logos? Actually, there's a lot more, and we're going to tackle these on the other future Vortex series videos. I want to share my own experience with you. I've constantly tried new things, even as a child, because I believe experience is the best teacher. So, what I did was, I just copied what Nikola Tesla had done, but from my own viewpoint. I combined the law of attraction, the law of action, the balance, geometry, and the vortex-based mathematics. For example, every time I ate in restaurants, I gave tips only divisible by 3, like $3, $6, or $7.2, and so on. When I walked down across the street, if a homeless person or beggar asked for something, I gave him money, but I made sure it was divisible by 3. In business, when I put a tag price on my products, I now make sure it's divisible by 3, like $96 or $99, or something like that. And we're now planning to build our house with a height of 36 feet from the ground floor, with maybe only 12 steps on each staircase. By the way, I am affiliated with different companies. I sell marketing tools and different products, and I am affiliated with different travel agencies as well. After constantly doing these insane and transcendental ideas, following the universal laws, Nikola Tesla's ideology and geometry, I've started and kept seeing the numbers 1111. It means that I'm on the right path. If you don't know the meaning of why you're seeing 1111, I will post a link in the description below. Anyway, I also recognise that my sales are continuously growing even after just 21 days. I didn't expect that it would actually triple my earnings. Now, I'm not saying that you should also do this, but if you think deeply, there must be a very big reason behind why these powerful individuals are secretly doing this without telling the common people, why they're constantly doing it. So, if you believe in universal laws, and you believe that everything is energy, everything moves, everything vibrates, go ahead and just try it for yourself. You will never know how much you can accomplish until you try. Once you start, never stop trying. Just continue to progress. Your miracle will come in undefined moments. Remember, don't be afraid to try something new, because life becomes lifeless when you stay within the limits of what you already know and what you're constantly experiencing. Nevertheless, don't forget the gratitude you need to include while you're doing all of these crazy things. If you have enjoyed this video and you're inspired by what you've seen, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Let's change the world together.